Welcome to Digrati Talk Show. Thank you for watching. To know more about what we do and the videos that we take, you can visit our Facebook page, Digrati Media, or like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Digrati Media. I am Ashabahewa Erin, the host, and today I have the project manager, Tom Sange Brian, works at Hive Colab, and he's going to tell us about a new project, a project that is meant to help the youth in very many sectors, help in skilling the youth with giving them hands-on skills. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's say hello to our viewers.
Hello viewers, good afternoon everyone. Thank you so much for hosting me. I'm here to explain, to give you more details about the project that we are working on as Hive Colab, and we are implementing this project in partnership with Innovation Village, and the project is funded by MasterCard. This project is going to take a period of 1 year, but there are also opportunities of extending it, or there are chances of extending it to 5 years.
Before we go into the details, what is the name of the project?
The name of the project is the Next Wave and CLSP project.
Okay, what is the project meant to do?
The project is going to skill and train young women, girls and boys who have dropped out of school, who are not in the direct employment, and would want to have like a sustainable livelihood. So our major or core objective is to train, skill these girls and boys or the young women to have the skills that can help them come up with a business that can generate incomes.
As we are talking about this project, you've said it is going to take a period of 1 year.
Yes.
Will you train all these students in that period of 1 year, or it is a costly period of time?
Basically, when you talk about that 1 year, initially we were to get like funds that push up to 2 years, but due to the COVID-19 situation that is in place, they cut the project to
1 year.
Yeah.
Let's go to the genesis of the project. How did this project start? How did you build just a simple idea into a very big project?
Basically, it is not we who built the idea, but MasterCard, as the donors or the funders, came up with the idea of funding different hubs to at least carry out trainings to skill and upskill failing but existing businesses in this situation. They asked for proposals, and we wrote the proposal. We succeeded, and boom, here we are. They gave us the funds to implement the project.
That means the project has been officially launched?
Definitely, because we had a stakeholder orientation meeting, and then we had to discuss with the stakeholders what they are expected to do and what we expect to do with the stakeholders, in partnership with the stakeholders.
When did you get into contact with this project?
We got in touch with Innovation Village, or we got in partnership with Innovation Village last year, November to December, and we were negotiating, we were agreeing on what to do and how to implement the project successfully.
You have said the project is mainly to help the youth get skills.
Yes.
Do you really think that the youth lacking skills is the reason as to why they are unemployed in the first place?
Apparently, there are so many youths that have the skills, but then we don't, or those young boys and girls don't have where to apply the skills to, or to put the skills. So what we do, or what we are trying to do, is to at least, in case you have the skills, you come and train with us in like a cohort. We try to at least help you and place you in an employment that will generate incomes to you.
So let's break down these skills. What are you going to majorly be doing?
Basically, we are going to train them in soap making, jelly making, baking. We are also going to give them like computer skills. We also have like what we call career, leadership and life skills practices. That is the CLSP. Okay, for example, we are going to teach them to train them on how to negotiate, like the negotiation skills. People have skills, but there is something that they are lacking. There are gaps that they have in their career. For example, communication skills. Many people, yes, you may be having the skills, but you don't know how to communicate. It is the tongue that sells you.
Exactly.
You get. So basically, we are trying to kind of like come up with life skills that will help these youths to at least fit somewhere. Leave alone the life skills. We are also looking at training them on how to make papers from banana fibers. For example, we are in Western Uganda. There are so many banana plantations. Banana fibers are just put to waste. We have to at least try our level best and use the available resources, put the resources to use. So that is why we are coming up with at least a machine that we are going to use to train these girls, boys, and young women to make papers from banana fibers, to make bags from banana fibers, and also make sanitary pads. And I believe that they'll use these products, or they'll in case they get the skills, they'll use the products that they make to at least generate some income
Okay.
and sustain their lives or their families.
So you talked about ICT skills also.
Yes.
And before my question, what is the target of the youth? Which age bracket, or which kind of people, which kind of youth are you targeting?
Basically, when we are starting our trainings, we are not looking at people who have, for example, we are not saying that we are going to engage people who are degree holders. No, we are looking at school dropouts. If you are beyond 15 years and above,
Okay.
there is no problem. And then, yes, as I was starting, I said we're looking at people who are school dropouts, yes. But then if you are a graduate and you feel like you also want to be part of us, you can come and we'll give you the skills.
That is what I was going to ask, because
Yes.
we have so many students, so many youths who have graduated and they have finished their levels of education, but
Yes.
still they are home. So do you have a space for catering for these people?
Definitely, it is there. But then, we as I was starting, I said that we are looking at who school dropouts or who are not directly in employment. Why? We have this in mind that mostly graduates, when you tell them to come for trainings, they'll be like, I can't go for that. I'm a graduate.
It's a
You
middle
get?
class.
Yeah. So that's why we focus basically on the school dropouts and those who are not in direct employment. Yes.
So that means even those who have finished, who have graduated, they can still come, but on their own will.
Yes.
So I was going to ask you about the ICT lessons. For someone who has dropped out of school, that means you will have to start from scratch.
Yeah,
when
we
it
start
comes to-
from basic computer skills,
Okay.
right from scratch. We shall get like participants, we categorize them depending upon what they know, and then we start from where they, yeah.
Okay. So where will this training be taking place?
It will be taking place from Amazon building,
That
level
is-
floor.
That is why you have the offices.
Yes,
Okay.
we have a big space and we're still working on it. Believe with time to come, in like 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be ready to kick off.
Okay. So when you are starting, when you are implementing this project as the
Yes.
project manager,
Yes.
what steps did you have? Like, I want to do this, and then after I do this, what steps did you have?
Basically, we have a chronological order of steps that we take.
Okay. So
For example, we have we do what we call a baseline survey. After a baseline, we do a mobilization. After mobilizing, we do orientation. From orientation, we go to project implementation. So basically, there are different steps that we take. And among the steps that I've talked about, we've so far done like 3 steps.
currently, where are you?
Currently, we are on the preparation phase, as in we are preparing, sourcing for raw materials, sourcing for employees. Yeah.
People are allowed to come and join.
Yeah, apparently people are allowed to come and register with us.
Someone who wants to come and register, he wants to. Do you also register trainees, those who are going to train them?
Yes.
So for someone who wants to register, where can they find you, or how can they contact you?
If you're interested in registering with us, you can come to Amazon Building, Level 3, and ask for Brian, or you can ask for Drake. He's the one in charge of registering those who are interested in the program.
What more does the project carry as a project that has been implemented by Hive Colab?
Yes.
What more does it carry?
We train young women, girls, and boys. We give them the skills. If we find that you have the skills that are required, we place you in a job.
And we are still on the innovation bit.
Yes.
Why specifically the youth?
Why specifically the youth? When you look around, the biggest population of people that we have are the youth, and not only in Uganda, but still the world over, the youth have been ignored. People who are in employment, basically looking at themselves. They're not looking at the youth. They're not. They don't mind about youth surviving and as in having their own jobs. No. So what we are looking at is to at least ensure that these youths have something to do. They usually say that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. If these youth are not employed, or they are not actively engaged in some activities, they will kind of like think of things that will, that will not be good for the society. So what we are looking at is to engage them and be a constructive people to their societies.
What do you think causes the fact that the youth are so idle and then they don't have what to do? Do we find loopholes in how they teach, in what we learn? Where do we find the problem?
I thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm going to express this right from my real understanding and right from the experience that I've been through. Basically, I took part in the preparation of the National Curriculum for Entrepreneurship in Rwanda, and as I was preparing that curriculum, it was competent based. It is a curriculum that was developed basing on the competences, hands-on experience. So Rwanda came up with a curriculum whereby at least the participants or the learners find, or they do the work, 70% of the work for themselves, while the teacher gives them 30%. It is the opposite here.
So the problem is in how we are learning.
Definitely the way we learn. The mode of delivery is too theoretical.
But I think it being theoretical, it would be of an advantage, because I mean, if you are given something that is of theory, it would force you to go and go find out the details of the practical.
Not really. It would be better I learn using a hands-on experience instead of just reading theory. If I do something with my hands, trust me, they are what we call the psychomotor skills. Whenever you touch something, when you're doing it, whenever you do something and you're touching it, trust me, you'll not forget. There is an attachment that you've created, so you'll not forget. But theory, for us, our education system basically looks at passing exams. It focuses on passing exams. Have I passed?
Period.
Good. If I get a first class and I don't know what to do in the field, it's total, it doesn't add up. So I would think that it would be better I do something using a hands-on experience.
So the problem is generally because we studied so much of theory and then
Definitely.
and what would be your suggestions in such a thing?
I would suggest that government should at least refocus some of the resources to education such that they buy the materials, in that pupils or students learn using that hands-on experience. Theory should be no theory should be erased. We do practicals instead of reading to pass exams. It would be better I read to understand.
You said you designed the curriculum of entrepreneurship in Rwanda.
Yes.
Have you tried to make a follow-up and see how this thing is helping? When was that first of all?
That was 2015.
Okay, so have you made a follow-up to see how this curriculum is helping the students?
Yes, they basically call me. Okay, yes, they basically call me. I go, we do a post survey to see how the curriculum is doing.
Okay, so how would you
And
rate
trust
it?
me, 75% of it is being implemented and people are getting skills. Yes.
So that would be the same suggestion when it comes.
Definitely. If it's possible, I would suggest that the government should refocus its resources to education such that they do more of practicals rather than theory. Yeah.
That issue aside, so with the youth doing more of the practical,
Yes.
what would be the other reason as to why you think they are idle? They go home and then sit and then find a relaxed comfort when they are home.
Now, I would also think that most of the youth undermine jobs.
No.
Yes, most of the youth undermine. For example, a graduate would be like, I need a white collar job. I need a job where I sit in an office and you get. Yes. But trust me, if you have a piece of land, that is a resource. If you have a piece of land, that is a resource. Go and put that land to use. Trust me, you'll bear the fruits. So we should stop undermining jobs. As youth, please, please, please try to make use of what you have.
Okay.
Stop undermining jobs. That's my word.
Another reason? Any other reason?
Any other reason? Basically, some of us don't have information where the jobs are. That is lack of information. Some of us don't have information about the jobs.
Sometimes some of the students have the jobs, but when they go to because they have been in a kind of environment where they are comfortable and then they think their papers move them. You go to the presentation skills and then they just can't make it. I think that is also another reason as to why the youth get unemployed.
Now, I believe when it comes to the presentation skills, it's all about the theory, the theory bit of it.
Exactly.
You get, for example,
You
when
go
you
to
are,
class and then they teach you.
they teach you. No, they teach you presentation. You get, but you've not done that practically. Theory is totally different from practical.
Still, I have the project manager, Brian Tomusange, works with Hive Colab, and then he is the project manager of the Next Flow project. Let's go for a short break. When we return, we'll talk more about the project and how you can get to them. Welcome back from that short break. Before the break, we are talking about the Next 12 project, how it is going to help the youth, especially the underserved youth, how it is going to help the businesses that have failed. And right now, I still have the project manager, Brian Tomusani, who is going to still talk about the Next 12 project, the reason as to why we are here. So before the break, we are talking about the reasons as to why the youth are literally unemployed. 30%, rather 50% or 70% of the youth are unemployed. Reasons, we talked about them. Now we are going to talk about why this project is on, what you think it is going to do, how beneficial is it for both an individual and the community at large.
Thank you so much. Initially, I said that the Next Wave project is going to train young women, girls, and boys in different fields, or it's going to equip them with different skills. For example, soap making.
Okay, let's talk about soap making.
Yeah.
How will the youth how is that soap making?
Now, the youth are going to learn how to make liquid soap and bar soap. Now, for example, when you look at liquid soap, I believe the market is there. The market is readily there because due to the COVID-19 situation, everywhere you go, you have to wash hands.
Yes.
So if you are able to make that soap,
It will be
okay,
helpful.
cheaply, you can easily get market and get something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Another skill.
Another skill, we are going to still train them on how to make like jelly.
So Vaseline or
Vaseline, yes. Vaseline. For us, we call it jelly.
okay.
So they're going to learn how to make Vaseline. If you can make Vaseline, trust me, you can easily put it on market and get what?
And get money.
Yes. But then, when it comes to training you on how to make jelly, still we shall have a team to at least evaluate whether what you are doing is of standard. We have connections with people in Uganda National Bureau of Standards, whereby we can call upon them. They come, they evaluate whether your products are in line with what they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in society,
Mm.
we have different kinds of people.
Yes.
We have the quick learners, and then the slow learners, and then those people who don't pick fast.
Yes.
Yet this killing will be dealing with almost everyone.
Yes.
So how are you going to evaluate them on an individual basis? How are you going to say that this one has picked better than the other one and then they should go to the next level? How are you going to do it?
We shall do what we call a self-evaluation, or we shall give them like evaluation tests, and these evaluation tests may be theory and practical.
So there will be an exam after.
Definitely.
Okay.
But it's not an exam whereby they are going to rate them that this is the first performer. No. This exam is basically there to at least assess whether they've understood what they've been told.
So how long does a short course take?
A course will take 3 months. Initially, it was supposed to take 6 months, but due to COVID-19, the funders decided to cut it to 3 months.
So for all the skills, it will be taking three months.
Yes, but then if we identify that there are people who have not really understood what was taught, we can do a refresher course such that they understand.
So we talked about soap making, we talked about jelly making.
Yeah, we talked. I've not talked about briquettes. Yes, apparently trees are being cut down to make charcoal. So what we do, we are trying to kind of like protect the environment in a sense that we teach these young women, girls and boys to learn how to make briquettes such that they minimize on the use of charcoal. That way, we are protecting the environment in one way or another.
Brick making, soap making, and we talked about ICT.
Yes, ICT,
And then,
basic ICT skills, programming.
so how are you going to start teaching programming and then?
Now, basically, when you talk about programming, we're not going to go into details, but then there are some specific programs that we're going to teach them. For example, making like, they'll learn how to make like cartoon characters of themselves.
Okay.
For instance, using like Moviso. We call it Moviso. So we are going to train them in to train them different computer skills, basic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the case, most of those ones, most of the skills that you have talked about, they are mainly for girls because the soap making and
Yes.
those things are looked at as girls stuff. So
And
what do
actually,
you have in store for the boys?
when it comes to for the boys, basically boys and girls are going to take part in making papers from banana fibers.
Papers.
Yes,
Which kind of papers?
real papers.
So how is this possible?
We have a machine. We are going to actually, we're in the process of buying a machine, and we shall transport the machine from Kampala to Mbarara. It will be installed, and then thereafter we shall get the raw materials. We shall identify, or actually I've already identified the supplier of the raw materials, and then we shall kick off
So
with the trainings.
So on the products of peppers for the aroma, peppers
From
from banana
fibers.
fibers,
Yes.
do you have a specific kind of market, or you just want to give it a try and then put it out there so that you can see the response of the market?
The market is already there.
Okay.
Yeah, because we are not the first Ugandans to produce papers or to produce bags or to produce sanitary pads from banana fibers. There are so many companies out there making papers, making papers from banana fibers, making sanitary pads from banana fibers, and making bags from banana fibers. So the market is readily there. We're not going to look for it.
Okay. Back, I attended the launching of this project,
Yes.
and then when I was there, you talked about welding and carpentry for
Yeah,
the boys.
yeah.
Okay, can you talk more about it?
Basically, there is some space that we have rented out, whereby we shall take these boys to learn how to weld
Okay.
metallic objects, or like making doors, making windows. So that is a skill that we shall also teach. Yes.
Is it funded by the government, or it's only funded by Mastercard?
No, it's not funded by the government. It's funded by only Mastercard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the benefits when these people have the skills, what impact do you think they are going to have on society?
When it comes to the impact that they will have on the society, first and foremost, they'll have improved standards of living with their families. For example, if initially you could not afford like a cup of milk, if you come up with a skill and you kind of like establish your own business, small business, trust me, you'll be getting money to at least sustain your family and yourself. Secondly, if I have established a business, trust me, I'll be able to pay a certain amount of money to the local authorities in terms of taxes. In one way or another,
Revenue.
I'm contributing something indirectly. So there's so many impacts that will come out.
So is registration paid for, or is there any kind of fee that you charge on the people?
No, we are not charging anything. Registration is for free. What we require of you is to come with an identification card only. For those of you who do not have a national ID, you can come with a village, we call it a village card, from the LC chairman.
Yes.
Yes.
It's almost like a letter.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so can someone get this registration online?
Apparently, we've not worked on registering online, but if you're interested in the program, you can come to Amazon Building. It's High Street, Amazon Building, third floor.
So this project is basically meant for Mbarara people, or it is only in Mbarara, or there are other branches that are dealing in
Apparently, the pilot project is in Mbarara. Initially, we were to go to Ibanda, but still, I'll keep on talking about COVID-19. COVID-19 has affected a lot of things. So we were to operate from Mbarara and Ibanda, but apparently we're operating from Mbarara only. With time to come, we shall proceed to Ibanda.
Where do you see this project in that time, 1 year that you have talked about?
In 1 year, I believe we will have achieved a lot. Trust me. Right now, it was last week that we had an orientation meeting, but people are registering. Surprisingly, I was called in a certain mosque to meet imams. I met 40 of them. These are representative of different mosques in different local areas of Mbarara district, meaning that through the imams we are going to get very many participants. So I see the project in in a year to have achieved a lot.
Okay, in case you get these tremendous achievements, if people acknowledge this, does it have room for extension? For, like, let's take an example, you had designated it for 5 years initially.
Yes.
Do you look at extending it after a certain period of time also?
But I would think that when it comes to extending it will depend upon the impact that the project has made. Yes, but there are chances of the project being extended.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anything else you would want the people to know about the Hive Colab, about the project, before we close the interview?
Yeah. As the interview was starting, I didn't talk about Hive Colab. Let me take this opportunity to talk more about Hive Colab, or give an overview about Hive Colab. Hive Colab is a technology, innovation, and incubation co-working space. We basically have a working space whereby if you have like a project that is in line with technology, you come, we incubate you, we give you a co-working space, we give you a working space, you pay a certain amount of money for that space, but then we incubate you. After that, we try to at least get you like donors or funders to at least, yes, to uplift you, and also to at least help you pitch your idea to the national and the international level. Yes.
So that means if I came with my idea at Hive Collab, you would be in position to help me.
We have mentors. We provide mentorship services. Yeah, we mentor, we accelerate. We have like what you call accelerators. So that is what we basically do.
Okay, so where is Hive Collab?
Hive Colab is found at High Street, Amazon Building, level 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's only.
But then this is in Mbarara. That is in Mbarara. This is a branch in Mbarara, but our main or our head offices are at Kanjucha Street, Kanjucha House, level 4.
So any media platforms for Hive Collab?
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram.
A pleasure hosting you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
That was it for today. I was with the project manager, Brian Tomsange, works with Hive Collab and is the one working on the next 12 project, a project that is meant to help the youth who are underserved, the youth who are not directly in employment, and also help businesses that have failed. This is a project that everyone should take on. The media platform is at Hive Collab on all media platforms. Remember to subscribe, Digrati Media. Thank you for watching. I remain Ashama Hebo Emily. Thank you for watching this segment.